singing, oh, what a change, oh, yeah. Oh, what a change, yeah. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Well, something on the inside, your love is working on the outside, singing, oh, what a change, oh, yeah. Talking about a change tonight, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. Well, you know, the Holy Ghost is on the inside. Well, you're working on the outside, singing, oh, what a change. I know, talking about a change. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. Well, what a change. What a change. Oh, yes, oh, yeah. Well, something on the inside. Working on the outside. Singing something on the inside. What are you doing right now?
We're so happy for all that the Lord is doing and for his blessings. I am so thankful that he has blessed us to be here tonight. We wasn't owed any day, but he gave it to us anyway. We love you and appreciate you. I thank God for this message. It's saying to you, if it says nothing else, quit talking about who you think you are. Because if you can't pass the test, you ain't that. You can talk about it all you want to, but at the end of the day, you got to pass the test. And the test, your life is going to be tested. You don't know where your strength is until you go through the test. We do some type of test in our lives every day, on the job, driver's license. We got this test and that test and all this stuff. I remember the first time I went in Germany to get my license, and I don't know what for, because those Germans, they don't have a speed limit. So on the freeway, you just drive. You want to do 200 miles an hour, you can. You don't get tickets over there. But I wanted to learn how to drive in case, I could drive up to the food store because I'm going to get on that freeway. And I studied really good. And I went in there to take my test, and I thought, boy, you people are so slow. And I was just going, checking the numbers off and checking the numbers off and just going with it. And I go up to the desk and look back at them like, y'all need to get it together. She said, you flunked. I flunked by 1 point. Oh, I was so aggravated. But I went on back and did it again and got my license. But nothing is worse than you're given a test and you flunk that test. Especially if it has a lot of meaning, whether or not I can get this position, whether or not I can go here or go there, I got to pass the test. So when I looked into the word, John was writing to the church of, where is it? The church of Smyrna. He said, these things saith the first, and these things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know your works and tribulation and your poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He says to this church, I see what you're doing. I see all this. But the test will determine how strong you are. You cannot judge a man by his strength, by what he says, but rather you judge him by how well he endures under pressure. How much pressure can you take? Unless you can really take the heat, you're just talking a bunch of stuff. See, you don't get to 50-some years of serving God and not having had the test. You done flunked this test a long time ago, way back there. But when you go through it, you got to make up in your mind, I'm staying with it. It's not enough to turn me around. You got to become a warrior in your soul. You got to believe that I can do this. With the strength of God, I can go through it. So he says, don't fear. I see who you are. And all these things that will come or whatever, don't be afraid of it. Stay true. Stand up. I wouldn't give a nickel for a person that talk a bunch of talk. At the end of the day, that's all they are, is a bunch of talk. You got to have more than that. Talk is not power. Action is power. Because I can scream and yell up here all I want to. Power is not demonstrated by how loud I can scream, how loud I can holler. Some people think that's what preaching is all about. Hey! You can preach if you never yelled, if you never raised your voice. The test comes to show who you are. You are shown in front of the congregation that you lead who you are. I said to the Lord when I had to preach my husband's funeral, I said, I want to represent you well today. I want to represent you as the strength that I've taught people over the years. I cannot go up here and faint. I cannot come up here and say I can't make it. When the funeral director says, Rose, I always stand at the head of the casket for people that are deceased. After I preached the funeral, and he said, you won't be able to stand up there when you're at your husband's funeral, will you? I said, of course I am. If Jacqueline Kennedy could walk down that street behind that, hey, I can stand at the head of my husband's casket. He said, well, we could get a chair. You're not giving me a chair. I can stand there. This is something I must go through. You know what we try to do? We're always trying to get out of going through something. We're trying to walk around it. We're trying to get around it. Honey, make up in your mind, stay in the pot. The refining pot, stay in it. Don't jump out of it. Let God put you through the process. There is a process. Too many people got an outward show. You look at them. Have you ever walked up on somebody and they look like a preacher? Yeah, but they turn out to be a whoremonger? Yeah, but they look like a preacher. I walked up to a preacher one time. He had all these almonds and on his truck. I mean, not almonds, but pecans. He had some place he went. He got pecans. He bring up very good pecans. I don't know where he is now. It was years ago. And I walked up. I thought, God, he looks like a preacher. I said, well, you look like a preacher. He said, well, I tried it for a little bit. He said, but I like doing this best. I thought, really? I better not leave the pulpit and go start selling pecans. That's not what I'm called to do. You want to sell some pecans? Really? God did. I don't see nowhere in the scripture where he said, thou shalt sell pecans. I don't see nothing here. I follow what the word says that I am and what my responsibility is. It's awesome. Nobody should want to be a preacher unless God ordains it. Nobody should want to be a pastor unless God gives it to you. The job is not one that is easy to do. You got all kind of people you working with, crazy people, nutty people, some good people. But you got a mixture of everything in there. You ever seen a bag of mixed nuts? That's where the church is. You got some cashews, you got some pecans, you got some almonds, you got some peanuts. All that's in a mixed bag. Think for a minute. That's a job that you don't want. My daughter said to me the other night going home, I'm so glad I'm not a pastor. I'm so glad I don't have to do your job. But you know what? In spite of that, I love doing it. Because this is what he called me to do. And so I love doing it. But would I have chosen it? No. He chose me. This is what he gave me to do. So I am grateful to him for everything that he's given me, You stand up, Rose, you be strong. The Lord told me years ago, leaders must be strong. They can't afford a weakness. They can't afford falling down. They can't find themselves in a corner depressed. When everybody else is depressed, you're not. When everybody else is broke up, you're not. When everybody else is passing out, you're not. Stand up. Stand up and be tall. And don't let nothing push you down, because you got to be tested. If you can't be tested, you'll never become strong. The test determines your strength. The test will show whether or not you have it when it's over. Don't go through the test and come out looking like you've been beat up by every dog on the planet. But no, I'm coming out, you don't even know I've been in a fight. A good fighter don't come out looking like he's been beat to death. He won, but look at him. His teeth are gone, his nose busted in. I mean, he's in a mess. So, hey, I don't want to look like I've been at a war. I'm not going to. I'm going to make it. You're not going to say, we went to see Sister Rose. Oh, my God. She looks bad. You know, she couldn't even get up. I mean, she used to stand up and preach. I don't walk like I used to. I used to walk all around here. They got me on camera on YouTube. I'm walking all over the place. The cameras are like this. A few years caught up with me. Don't do it no more. This is fine, just like this. Because what you don't understand, some of my help is right here. So when I lean on this, hey, I got some support. They said, Mama, you walk so much when you preach it. All down the aisles, all over there. I don't want to see that on YouTube. I don't want to see it. It's a reminder. It's a reminder where you used to be and where you are today. And you have to accept that. You have to accept it. Life is changing. Every day is changing. So what are you going to do? I am going to give it everything I got to the last moment. Don't give in. Die like a soldier. Die like a warrior. Say, I ask you. Most of the people in this church, I would tell you, for the most part, has not really experienced what you call a real trial. They've had a few little knocks and bumps, a few little things here, but they ain't been through the fire. If you can go through the fire and come out, for sure you're different. Gold wouldn't become gold without going through the fire. I mean, Job said, after he is done with me, after he's finished, I shall come forth as gold after he's done. You know, we want to say, well, my God, it's been going on for a week now. You would think we'd be through this. We learned something by now. Man, don't learn that quick. You know why? Because he's constantly telling himself he don't need that. That, you know, I think I'm okay the way I am. And I'm not a person that give up on every little thing. See? I do that. But when you go through, make up in your mind, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not in it to go for a while and stop. I'm in it until the end. The race is not given to the swift, neither to the strong, but the one that endures to the end. That's who the race belongs to. That's who the winner is. You will never see somebody be given gold at the Olympics who stopped when they started out. Everybody else is gone. You still back at the back of the line. You're not going to get a gold. You better look at yourself the same way. You're not going to get a gold. You're going to have to work hard. I read an autobiography, I guess, about Serena Williams some months, years, maybe a couple of years ago. And the training that people go through is unbelievable. She can't have donuts during the time of training. She said, I love donuts. But if I'm going to train and be fit to win, I can't have them. So I have to discipline myself. And sometimes they're training 8 to 10 hours a day and more. And I thought, wow, just to get out there to be able to take that tennis racket and hit that ball, they got to train for it. I'm talking hard. So that when they get out there, you know what? You're running from this side over to this side and down here and over here and back at the front and over here. You better be trained. Otherwise, you'll never last. There's no way you'll last. Think of it. So, if you say you want to serve God, I say to you, are you ready for the test? The test is going to try you. Some people, time they start, I say, I thought I could do this, but I don't think I can. My daughter niece was telling me about Amber this morning. She's telling me I was coming on the church. She said, Mama, please don't say that. I'm going to say it. And she said, Mama, is Amber got the baptism? I said, no, but she wants it bad. She said, well, I was looking at her on the camera. She said, her mouth is just going. I thought she could speak in tongues. I said, yes, she could. She don't know it yet. Now you know it. See? And I thought, yes. But this is a person that the devil wants to stop dead in your tracks. You know why? Because they don't come in hard like that. They start off, they want it, whatever, but not like this. People are different. So think about it for a minute. If I want to make it, don't even go there to say, I want to be like Sister Rose. You don't even know what you're talking about. You can't even, you behind the scenes, not here. Here it looks all good, like everything is right. Oh boy, but it's a different story behind scenes. The things that you go through in the course of a week is phenomenal. And it's not 1 week. It's not 2 weeks. It's every week. There's always things going on continuously. I thought, wow, we have, every once in a while, I think Kyle said, boy, one day we'll have some peace. It's just going all the time. All the time. Something. Not with us, with people. People always got some issue that you're trying to fix. My daughter come in and talk to me about the musician. She said, Mama, I wanted to wait till you had your nap and talk to you. This is uncalled for. Man doesn't get control of himself, yet he wants to be praised as if he does. You got to discipline the flesh. It wants to act a fool all the time. It's your job to say you're not going to. Like Brother Simmons was saying Friday night, Simon want him to do everything wrong. Simon said. And Brother, he said, Brother Simmons said, I don't want to, Simon says. And that's the God-sent truth. And it's so true. You got to get the flesh in control or become disciplined, or you will never win a race. You won't win this one. This is a lifetime race. This is not one we're going to the Olympics and then we're going to win the race and then come home and we're down. This is one continues until the day you die. You're never, ever going to be without it. So you got to look at yourself and say, you know what? If I'm going to make this race, I better pace myself. People that runs real fast at the beginning usually don't last. They start off, and they know about how much they need to give themselves. So they pace themselves so that you can finish the race. If you don't pace yourself, you could be running real hard, and suddenly you're so out of breath, you can't do it. You gotta find a way in which to run this race. This is a lifetime race. And we're racing for the crown. And I thought this morning, the reason why the devil wants Ron so bad, the man stomps his foot and the Holy Ghost comes down the church. How is that? The devil said, get that big boy. The boy ain't said a word. He just stopped the floor. He stopped the floor and everything was moving like, wow. I mean, he's over there. We got trying to have testimony service. And he's over there. Whoa. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, this man, the devil says, I want to kill him. You're not supposed to possess power as such. You stomp your feet and everybody shouts. And he didn't say shout. Shout. Folks running everywhere and he's stomping. And I'm telling you, that is God. That is God. Yes. He's been through some stuff. He's been through. That's why he's hollering now. He made it through a place that he wasn't supposed to make it through. But now I'm here, devil. What you got for me now? I'm stronger now than I was yesterday. I'm better today than I was before. It's a good feeling when you see strength in people. It's a good feeling when they're strong and they don't give in to things. They say, I'm going to win this. No matter what, I'm going to win. And you can. I refuse to be stopped. I refuse for the devil to take me down paths that I don't want to go down. I'm going down the path that Jesus has ordained for me to go. Yes. See, I got to say, Sister Rose, you should be able to say, I can pass the test. Let me tell you, the Apostle Paul, he went through some of everything, beatings, scourgings, put in prison, all stripes put on his back, everything. These things happened to him. You know what he said? I'm persuaded. He didn't come up saying, I don't want no more whippings like that. If I get more stripes on my back, I'm not going to be able to make it. No, he said, I'm persuaded. After all that, I'm persuaded that nothing shall separate me from the love of God. Not things present, not things to come, not things beneath the earth, not things above the earth, nowhere. No. I'm going to win. And if people don't like it when you say, I'm not backsliding. Like, honey, you better watch out. No, you better watch out. You can determine that. I'm not going to be a backslider. I'm not leaving God. Are you kidding me? That's not going to happen. I can say with all confidence, as the Apostle Paul says, when it's all said and done, I fought a good fight. I kept the faith. I finished my course. And now is there laid up for me a crown of righteousness. And not only for me, but to all those that love his appearing. Hey, I'm working to go there. You can't get too tired. You get too tired, just stop. See, physically you get tired. Spiritually, you never stop fighting. You don't stop fighting. Even when the physical body look like it can't get with it inside that war, that fight is going on. I'm not giving in to it. I'm not doing it. Then you got to see what it feels like when I pass the test. Now, yeah, the devil was knocking me around there for a minute. He's playing games with me. But there's no better feeling that he had this morning up here on this platform. Hey, I'm here. I'm here. Yes. Look at me now. Look at me now. I'm past all that. Paul said, I know I have a crown of righteousness laid up for me. You say, well, but nobody really knows. Oh, yeah, you better know before you leave this world. I got a crown laid up for me. I've been through a lot. I've seen some things. I've been through the fire. I've been through the flood. I've been through all these things. And through it all, the grace of God brought me through it and let me win. It's a great feeling. You're not winning in your own strength. You're winning because God is helping you to win. He gives you the strength to step over it and keep going. Be happy anyway. We went through a lot of things this year and last year and the year before that and the other year. Do we have any inkling that we might just put the sword in the sand? Oh, no. No swords going in the sand. I said that when Charles died, I asked the Lord to take me home, and in my own mind, I thought I'm putting my sword in the sand. Well, I said, you ain't going nowhere. You better pull that sword back out. You ain't through fighting yet. You would like to get that sword. Because here come the devil. Oh, you done? Hey, she done put the sword in the sand. Honey, I had to pull that thing back out and go to war. It ain't time yet. When the time comes, how beautiful that's going to be to stand before him. And he said, my good and faithful servant, come on over here. I can just, sometimes I fantasize about it. I can just see him. Come here, Rose. Boy, this is good. Because just standing that moment, you can't even imagine what that feels like. No cares of this life, no trouble, no issues, no pain, no suffering, no nothing. And he said, come on in. I prepared a mansion for you. And I really don't even need a mansion. If I just get in there and sit inside the gate. I said, my husband, he probably thought, I don't need nothing else. Just put me around the fruit tree and let me eat eternal fruit. I said somebody laughing. I said, I can hear the Lord say, go down there and get Charles. He stays by the tree. There's more to heaven than that tree. Get him and bring him in. Well, it's time to pray. It's time to worship. Charles, we'll let you go back and eat some more fruit, but come on. Yes. I think anybody that misses heaven have missed everything. Because there's so much beauty and so much waiting for us, and he loves us. And look at all this. He didn't prepare just any little old thing. He said, I'm coming back for you, but I'm going and fix everything up nice for you. I'll be back. And he's coming back whether you are ready or not. So weak people give in to anything. They whine all the time. They're full of self-pity. Full of self-pity. But every person in this room is going to go through something that needs to come out of your life that you've never released it to God. It's coming out of you before you get to the kingdom, or you're not going to be there. That's not complicated. That's simple. Very, very simple. So I look at this and I learn from every situation. I don't let anything happen in my life around me or wherever that I don't listen and learn. Look at this. Look at it. My daughter Nita, who died at 29 years old, very, very, very proud. And I used to say to her all the time, Nita, you need to humble yourself. You're too proud. What are you proud of? You're too proud, just arrogant, just out of line. I said that many times. And the Lord said, tell her I could teach her something if she just humble herself and listen. You know why I said you don't know no more than you know? You don't know how to shut up. Let me tell you something. Everything that God does, he wants us to take note of it and say, wait a minute. Look at this. You can either take it laying down, or you can take it where he'll put you down. He says, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God. Humble yourself. Now, if you choose not to do it yourself, then he's going to do it. He's going to do it, and you don't like the way he does it because he's going to knock you down. Let's listen to it. I got to. Where's my strength? It's not in your pride, because God resists the proud. He gives grace to the humble. Think about it. He gives grace to those that are humble. Don't walk around thinking that you're all that. You're all of nothing. You're nothing. See, I want you to say, I want to learn. I want to learn. I want to say yes to God. See, as a preacher, I don't have a choice of, well, I'll let God know here in a minute whether I'm going to be a preacher or not. Really? And Brother Simmons got here and said he's a preacher. Definitely a preacher. And I started telling him things he had to do. You know what he said? Sister, I better rethink this thing. I said, rethink? He was as crazy as they come. He said, I think I need to rethink this. I said, brother, you ain't going to rethink jack. If God called you to preach, your rethinking means nothing. You're going to do this. This is not your decision. This is God's decision. Just say yes, Lord. Yes to whatever you want. You have to laugh at it, don't you? That boy was, I looked at him and thought, God, why did you send me him? He's as crazy as they get. My kids said, Mama, God sends you all the hard to work with people. It's so God truth. It's always, I think, oh no. There's Janelle. Janelle walked through the door of the church, and I thought, God, if I could have a choice, I'd say, take this one back. Oh, my God. I knew this was a problem from the day she walked in. This is Nut City. And I don't have a choice. I can't say, God, well, you know what? I let her go on back out. No, I had to keep her. She told me the other day, Sister Rose, I've been here 18 years. You mean tell me God put me through that for 18 years? I didn't even know it. Wow. Just yeah. Hard work. People are hard work. You know why? Because man don't surrender his will. He holds on to it. He thinks I need this. No. Give you the tough ones, the hard ones. And you better do it right. You better do it right because he's helping you. He says, listen to this. He said to the Pharisees, he said, when you see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway you say there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, you say there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites. You can discern the face of the sky and of the earth. But how is it that you do not discern this time? Yea, and why even yourselves judge ye not what is right? So look at you. Nothing is worse than a lying hypocrite in the church. I'd rather have a whole church of sinners than hypocrites. Because they make you sick. They're phony as a $3 bill. And you know they don't make $3 bills. Listen. So what am I going to do? I am going to be the best of the best for God. I'm going to give him 100%. You cannot possibly go to hell giving God 100%. Because that's all he asks of you. Give me all of you. And I'll give you everything back. I'll double what you've given. I'll double that. Because the place I take you, gonna make you strong. I was thinking about taking this Sunday off, starting this Sunday, and the Lord gave me a message. Why you keep taking the pot back when you got the river? And I thought all of a sudden I got happy. I thought I got to preach. I thought, wow. Whoa. I said, yeah. And I thought, wonder can this wait a couple of weeks? And all of a sudden I sat up in the bed and thought, wow, I could hear it. Leave the pot. You got a river. Leave it. You could have about Shantarabakataya. Do about Sandariakata. Hallelujah to God. Wukuriyababasha. Glory to God. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Hallelujah to Jesus. Come on, I thought, Lord, I need some rest. You preaching when you're dying and loving every second of the death. It's okay. Think about this. Do you want to be a strong Christian? One that possesses power? One that is an overcomer? One that refuses to give in? I'm not giving in. Is it rough? That's not the point. I'm not giving in. We don't need to discuss whether it is rough or whatever. I don't need to discuss that. The fact is, I'm not giving in. That's all that matters. None of the stuff. I was like, well, how rough is it? It don't matter. My mind's made up. I'm staying with it. I refuse to be a coward. I refuse to fall down and can't stand up. See? No, this is a good life. Now, there's some people. Not only Paul passed the test, Caleb passed it. When they went down to search out the land, see if it was all that God said it was, and it was and more. And everybody else said, we can't go in there. We just can't do it. The giants are too big. You can't do it. Caleb said, we're more than able. Let's go up. And God gave him a blessing for every person that endures through the trial and get through it. There's a blessing at the end of it. There's a blessing. Joshua said, hey, I ain't giving it up. For me and my house, who's on the Lord's side? For me and my house, we're going to serve God. We're not giving it up. I don't care who don't go, me and my house. Those were the days when men stood up like men. That men led their households because they feared God. And their families say, if you going, Daddy, we're going with you. So for me and my house, we're going to serve God. After they had beaten the apostles, told them, don't preach that name, Jesus. We don't want to hear about it. After they got beat, they come out running saying, we can't but help it. We can't but help it. Who's going to Shanta? Woo! Glory be to God. This is your bullshit. Oh, honey, I can't help it. They said, what's them people back out there? They just got a beating. They told them don't do it. They said, we can't help but preach this gospel. If you beat us, we're going to get up. Whatever you do to us, we're going to preach it. It ain't about how many stripes you got. It ain't about how hard it is. I got to preach this gospel. No matter what people say, I got to preach this gospel. See? Queen Esther had to take a stand. She sent back to Mordecai and said, look, I can't go into the king. Haman wants to kill all the Jews and get rid of them. And you need to go into the king. She said, you know better than that. You know that I can't go to the king. The king has to send for me. We don't have that in this hour. The king has to call me. Because if I go into the king in behalf of the Jews, he said, and he didn't call me, if he doesn't extend the golden scepter, then I could be beheaded. She told Mordecai, let me tell you something. You will either do it or deliverance will rise from another place. And don't you think you're going to escape. You're not going to escape. See? You better go talk to the king. She got her maids together and she said, fast and pray for me as I go into the king. It could mean I'm going to lose my life, but you know what? I'm going to pass the test. And if I die, she said, if I perish, let me perish. You know what? Until you get to that place in your life, if I perish, let me perish. If I die, let me die, but I'm going to die doing what God told me to do. I'm not standing back giving you reasons why I cannot. I can't do it. I can't do it. She goes in. I don't know if she had a few heart palpitation. Because when you get scared, sometimes your heart will skip a beat, flutter. So I'm going in. It may mean I die, but if I perish, let me perish. But I'm going to see the king. That's what you got to do. No matter what the devil says, no matter what happened, no matter how bad it looks, I'm winning. You got to tell yourself every day, I'm winning. I said this morning, I'm winning. It looks like you ain't, but I'm winning. See, I keep holding on to that. She goes in when the king looks at her that day for some reason. God done sanctified that queen. He done beautified her even more. The king couldn't even resist. He said, what do you want? Touch it. Touch it. Goes in. What do you want, Esther? God said he got to accept you. The beauty that's on you, he can turn you down if he wanted to. I done beautified you. Because when he beautifies you, boy, you are beautiful. But if he doesn't, you suck. Yes. Say yes. What do you want? I come to petition you in behalf of my people. This man Haman wants to kill all the Jews. There's always some crazy fool that want to be on the planet with him and his ancestors. That was Hitler's disease. Where is he at today, dead and in hell? Yeah. You ain't going to have the whole world all by yourself because you white. We ain't going nowhere. I'm going to go back to Africa, you go over there. I'm not going to Africa. Surely I'm an African American, but I was born here. Don't tell me where I got to go live. I live here. Yes. Don't give in. See. got to understand. My God, this is a good life. Don't ever get bored with it. Don't ever get tired. For God's sake, stand up. So I'm staying in here. I love to talk to somebody who's going through the fire, and then they say, but I ain't giving up. I love that on that end, but they say, yeah, it's rough. I'm looking at them thinking, you ain't going nowhere. See, David said, he proved me, he tested me to see who I really was. And he said, thou hast proved mine heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me and shall find nothing. I am purpose that my mouth shall not transgress. You tried me. How did he try you? Put you through the fire. Could you hold on? Those three Hebrew boys, they came out beautiful. That's one of the best testimonies in the Word. So we ain't going to bow. You're playing the music. We ain't bowing. And somebody said, you know what? They stone crazy. We're not bowing. You believe the king going to put you in the fire furnace? We're not going to bow. Those are strong Christians. They're not a word about the fire and burning up, because if I go in there and I burn up, hey, I'm going to be on the streets of gold in a matter of a few minutes. I'm not giving up. And when they kept on, they said, well, he did 7 times hotter than he was. Are you ready to go through the fire 7 times hotter than where you are? No, you ain't been through the first part. 7 times? I'm out of here. There's only so much a person can take. I'm a human being. And God knows my heart. I want to serve him. I want to love. Shut up. If you ain't ready for the fire, you ain't ready to serve God. He said, you know what, King? To be honest, we don't even care to answer you. What you got to say? Nothing. We still ain't going to bow. The men preparing the fire 7 times hotter killed them as they were trying to make the fire so hot that they couldn't make it. You didn't see them going somewhere trying to strip clothes or nothing like that. Push them in there. Some of you have never experienced the 4th man because you ain't willing to go through the fire. You talk about it, but you'll never have that. That comes in the fire. You know, the 4th man was there. Yeah, he sure was. You didn't see him. All you can do is talk about the Hebrew boy. You know what happened to them? Oh, praise God for the victory. Yeah, go right ahead. Don't start shouting until you went through and had the victory. I got victory. I'm an overcomer. Those people that overcome is the one that win. Because everything's going to come at us. Everything. We gotta win. He said, the refining process, I will bring the 3rd part, talking about the remnant, through the fire. That's the people that's going to be saved. See, the number's already there. He already knows who's going to be saved and who's not. He said, but I'm going to bring the 3rd part through the fire. Refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. I want to purge you so you can offer me up something, but you got to be righteous to do it. Now you need to go through the fire and get rid of some stuff before you can do it, because otherwise it's emotion. It's something I'm just going through. It's just a form of godliness, but denying the power. I got to get in here. I got to test the storm is coming to every person's life. Can you survive it? In Oklahoma, is known for tornadoes, and a lot of people build cellars onto their houses that is under the ground. So when this tornado comes, if you're under the ground, then the tornado is whipping everything under. It don't usually dip down like that. So they build a cellar. And everybody that ain't got a cellar, they run around. Nancy, got more room? No, it's full. Just 2 of us. Full already. No, we can't get another person in, just two. Build your own cotton picking cellar. So when the storm comes, you ain't sitting around trying to get in on somebody else. That's a lot of people like that. They want in on your blessing, but they don't want to do nothing. Build you a cellar. Have you something you can go to. And if you build your house on the sand, you are doomed. And the sand is the cares of this life. Everything is shifty, everything. Build your house on it if you want to. Call yourself a Christian if you want to. The bottom line is the test's going to determine it. Nah, says, he likened you unto a man which built his house and digged deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood came and the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. You said, Sister Rose, how did you go through all this? We on a rock. Ain't no sand under here. Sand ain't going to do it. You got to have something solid because the storm is intense. And it's going to get more intense with time. Can you stand the test? Whatever comes, are you going to come out shouting? Paul and Silas in jail, they sang and shouted. Won't y'all be lovely? Get me out of here, Lord. Paul said, we might as well have church in here. Strong people have church under any circumstances. They'll shout no matter what's going on. Yeah, the devil is mad. And so what? We give the devil more credit than we give God. Give him testify. The devil is mad. Did you just find that out? Go forward. Go forward. That's what you got to do. The final test is every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. What sort are you? A weak little piece of nothing. I get upset things. I can't take much pressure. I'm not a person that can deal with controversy. Just my family's never been like that. Really? Your families are weaklings. They won't use that word. They just don't get involved. Yeah. Even if they see things, it's not their business. Yes, it is. That's what I told Cliff the other day. I said, I need you to go and speak these words in my behalf. And he says, I feel like it's not my place. I said, it's your place because I declare you to do it. So move on it. But yeah, I set him down, Brahma, take a seat. I'm going to be going to heaven after a while now. You see this? You sit down if you want to and tell it ain't your place, and God going to beat your head off. While you sitting there bald-headed and stupid. You need to stand up, and when you see it wrong, call it. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, whoever, call it. You ain't got to be a preacher to call wrong. This thing is wrong. It doesn't matter. Family don't matter. When I preach this gospel, I don't see my daughters and this one. And I don't care about any of y'all. Here it is. Take it. Take it. I'm like, yeah, I see what you're talking about, mama. I think you do now. I said, because you're a little. I called him a name. He said, I ain't going to be punking out like that. Baby, this is about standing tall, looking the devil in the eyes and saying, you're not in control. I am. And nothing you're going to do to me is going to change this. Nothing. I'm going to have victory no matter what. All I've been through. Huh? Huh? All right. I still can shout. Still can worship God. Still can praise God. Still can have a smile. Says something wrong. You don't understand. I understand. You weakling. Stand up, smile when you're happy. Smile when you're sad. I wish I knew the rest of it. God, I can't think of the rest of the words. Smile when you're happy. Smile when you're sad. The devil said, you know what, that joke over there, I don't care what day we come by with our little red wagon, they always smiling. The devil, all kind of stuff done happened to them. Things went bad every kind of way. Nothing worked out. And they still. How you smiling? Because I know it's all well. Even though it don't feel like it, it's all well. God is taking care of us. He's leading us through the fire. Some through the fire, some through the flood. It's another part of that song, and I don't know it either. Yes. Musicians and singers, please come forward. Yes. Don't walk around trying to look righteous. Be righteous. Because people that look righteous is the people that go under when the wind blows. And it's not a strong wind, it's a breeze. And they come in church, clothes hanging off of them, hair messed up. And you say, what happened? That wind? So how fast is it? 3 miles an hour. Are you kidding me? When you come in and you've really been in a wind, a strong wind, your hair is messed up, your clothes blow different ways and what have you, but you're still happy. Learn to be happy. You know that song, Smile When You're Happy? Yes. Talk about I never heard that. Say what? Still got joy? You better learn that smile when you're happy. Yeah. I'll let you hear it because Mahalia Jackson sings it. So pull her up. Yep. Stand to your feet.